Hey. Alright, so this is part 2 of our video. So the next part of your exam is going to have questions like this one right here. You have one question like this where they're asking you to order the angles from shortest to longest. You have one question like this. So remember, your shortest angle is going to be across, your smallest angle is going to be across from your shortest side. So if we have 10, 16, and 19, the smallest one is 10. And then you look to see who's across from 10. Okay, so Z should be the first angle listed. So let's see. Nope, nope, nope. Well, that was easy enough. There's only one possible answer. But just to check, let's make sure the largest one is also right. So our largest angle is across from our longest side. So our longest side is 19. So across from it should be Y. So it should end with Y. Oh, whoop, it does. Good to go. All right, next you have one question like this one right here. Okay, and on this one question, this time we're wanting to from shortest to longest. And again, same thing applies here. Across from our short will be our smallest angle. Across from our longest will be our largest angle. So starting with the smallest. So our smallest angle is 50. So across from it, our shortest side is going to involve RS. So it's going to start S. Okay, this one says RS and QS. Oh, only one possible answer. Now what this means right here is that they're supposed to be the same. If they're the same, the angles will be the same. Voila, the angles are the same, so that would be our answer. Okay, let's do another one like that. I think it's the fact that you're identifying a side is what throws off a lot of kids on these. Remember, sides contain 2 letters instead of 1 like an angle. All right, so again, here we go. Our smallest angle is 44, so across from it will be our shortest side. So we're looking for CD. All right, so that one has CD. Nope. Okay, now this one right here, how it says CD and EC, which means they would have to, but we don't have 2 congruent angles, so that's not a possibility. All right, so let's look for our largest. So our largest angle is CE. That one ended with an E and a D. This one ends with an E and a C, so that one works. Okay? All right. Okay, you have, let me check, 2 questions like these on your exam. You have to identify if it's a triangle when 3 side lengths. Okay, so remember when you're finding these, you take the 2 small ones and add them together, and they have to be greater than the largest. So for instance, we have 22, 12, and 8. So 12 and 8 are my 2 small ones. So I need 12 plus 8 to be greater than our largest one, which is 22. So 12 plus 8 is 20. Is 20 greater than 22? No, it is not. So that is not a triangle. Let's do another one. Okay, on this one here, we have 2, 9, and 10. So 2 and 9 are our 2 small ones. So we're going to say 2 plus 9 needs to be greater than 10. So 2 plus 9 is 11. Is 11 greater than 10? Yes, it is. So it is a triangle. Okay. All right, next ones. You have 2 questions like these right here, where you are trying to find the range of the third possible side when given 2 sides. So to find your range, you're just going to subtract what you're given and add what you're given. So we're given 7 and 11 here. So we can say, okay, 7 or 11 minus 7 is 4. And then 11 plus 7 is 18. So our range is between 4 and 18. Ta-da! Let's do another one. So for this one here, we're given 9 and 12. So we would do 12 minus 9, which is 3. And then 12 plus 9, which is 21. So 3 and 21. And that's all you do. All right. All right. You have, let me see how many questions you have like these on your exam. Okay, naming the relationship is not on your exam. Let me see. But there is questions like, for example, let's say we were dealing with this figure right here, and we were given 7x plus 13, cough, cough, and 8x plus 2. And we wanted to solve for x. Now remember, this is dealing with neighbors or not neighbors. So first thing I notice is these are not neighbors. And remember, when they're not neighbors, they're equal. So we can say 8x plus 2 equals 7x plus 13. And then you solve. You can solve doing the variables and constants. For instance, we would have 8x minus 7x, because 7 had to go through the wall. And then we have 13 minus 2, because 2 had to go through the wall. When it goes through the wall, it turns opposite. So 8x minus 7x just leaves you with x. And then 13 minus 2 leaves you with 11. So that would be your answer. Okay. You have 2 questions like that on your exam. And yes, if you didn't catch the hint, I just gave you an answer to your exam. See who actually. You don't have a question like this one, but let's say instead you were told that this was 17 and that this was 2x minus 14 and that this was 2x minus 17, and you were asked to solve for x, okay? Remember, the whole thing is represented by the segment with arrows, because that's telling you this entire length. So the whole thing, 17, is equal to the other 2 parts added together. So we would say 2x minus 14 plus 2x minus 17. You can solve the rest from there. I believe in you. All right. You have a midpoint question on your exam. So remember your midpoint formula. X1 plus x2 divided by 2. Y1 plus y2 divided by 2. And remember, points are written as xy, xy, okay? So if we look here, we take our 2 x's. So we have a 1 and a negative 9, and we're going to add them. So 1 plus negative 9, all divided by 2. That gives you negative 8 divided by 2, which gives you your first answer as negative 4. Now, before we continue on, see, I don't know what the second one is. Let's see if we even have to. That one's negative 19, negative 4. Okay, good. Negative 2, positive 5. You don't even have to do the next one. You did. It's just done the same way, but with the y's. So that would. Okay, you have one distance formula question. Remember your distance formula? Square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Remember, these are written as xy, xy. So if I was to plug this one in, remember, you can pause this video at any time if I'm moving too quickly for you to write stuff down and then be able to pay attention. All right, so here we go. So we have negative 4 minus 0 squared plus 8 minus negative 8 squared. Please use a calculator to assist you. Hold on, let me grab mine. Okay. Alright, so we have negative 4 minus 0, which just leaves us with negative 4. Notice how I kept it in parentheses. Plus 8 minus negative 8, which gives us positive 16. Please do not drop your square root. I noticed that whenever we did distance formula here in the class, that a lot of students were missing it because they were forgetting the square root at the end. So do not forget about the square root. Alright, so we have negative 4 squared. If you get a negative answer, you messed up. Anytime you square something, it turns positive. Because anything multiplied by itself, even a negative times a negative, is going to be turning positive. So 4 squared is 16, plus 16 squared, I think I know, I did not know, 256 plus 16. So we get square root of 272. And then the square root is just a button on your calculator. If you're using your cell phone as the calculator, you just turn it sideways and you'll find that square root button. And our answer is 16.49, which is 16.5. Okay? All right. Okay. All right, you have 2 questions. You have 2 questions involving triangle congruency. And remember, your triangle congruency can be proved 5 ways. It can be proved with side, 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 angle, side, HL, angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side. Okay? You have some examples here in which you could do, but there are some that I would like to do with you. Okay? So the first one I want to do with you looks like this. So remember, what you're looking for here is between the 2 triangles, what is the same? So the first thing I notice is that we have some dash marks that are the same. So I've got these sides that match. I also have these sides that match. And then remember, after that, you're going to look for shared sides or vertical angles or anything like that. Well, I notice we've got a set of vertical angles, and angles are congruent. So now we just have to read it. And what's our triangles telling us? Why, they're telling us it is congruent by side, angle, side. Literally says it. Another one I would like to do with you is this one right here. Again, we're looking to see what matches. So the first thing I notice is that we have some angles here that match with their 1 arcs. We have some angles right here that match with their double arcs. So again, we're going to look for shared sides or bow ties. We don't have a bow tie, but we do have a shared side. And then we can notice this is congruent. Why? It's congruent by angle, side, angle. Okay. You will have an example where you need to classify triangles. So remember, you can classify triangles by their angles. So just a review. Sidewise, we have scalene, which means no congruent. We have isosceles, which means 2 congruent. And we have equilateral, which means 3 congruent. So let's look at this triangle we have here and go ahead and start with our sides. How many congruent sides do we have? So we have 14.4, 14.4, 14.4. We have all 3. So we know that it's equilateral. So let's see, everything that says equilateral gets to stay. All right, now let's talk about our angles. I just put angels, didn't I? Hold on, I can fix it. Hey! So if it is an acute triangle, that means we have 3 that are angles that are less than 90. If it is obtuse, then we have 1 angle greater than 90. If it is right, then we have 1 angle equal to 90. And then if it is equiangular, I forgot the I in there, please forgive me. We have 3 congruent angles. Now, we also have learned about how if it